This is Stump's Hot Rods. Hey, today we're going to try some mixing some paint. Um, as you can see, the wagon was resprayed at one point, sometime long ago. So they put this baby blue over top of the original color. The original color is like a cream, a yellow cream, as you can see from right here. So since I'm going to try to keep this looking a little bit on the Survivor side, even though I've been fixing, repairing, doing some fender repair, patching some holes in the rocker panel, etc. I'm just taking care of some of the rust throughs on the body, and then I want to try to blend it with the original paint. Like if you can see up here on the cowl, the cowl is, I don't know that they ever resprayed the cowl, or somebody must have sanded it down, but eventually I'll take care of that. But the paint, the baby blue that wears through in spots, you can then see some of the yellow underneath. So I don't know, it doesn't look like they even used a primer over top of the yellow before they sprayed the baby blue on top. I think they just lightly sanded it. So the only colors that are showing through in spots are the yellow. So we're going to try to mix some of that up today, mix some paints together and see how close we can get it, because I want to put a layer of that underneath all of my repair areas before I spray the top coat, and then we'll try to do some faux patina, kind of wear through in some spots. Um, and that's granted the paint that I had mixed up. We'll see how close that gets anyhow, but it's worth a shot, and we'll try it together. So here we are. What I tried to do is I got some of this heirloom white. It's a satin finish. It's a little bit on the antique white side. So I thought I'd use that as a base, perhaps, and then try to add some color yellow with this spray can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Bondo cap and spray some color, some white into it. Okay. And then we're going to hit it with some yellow. Alright, and we're going to mix. Try to come up with a cream color, which maybe a little bit on the yellow side there, but it ain't bad, honestly. Shoot a little bit of more white into it. What I'm doing here is I'm using this little chip brush to do my mixing. Actually, that's pretty darn good. Let's take a look at it on the fender. Let me move the camera a little. That would be pretty hard to not to see. Oh, let me see. I can't get the camera right here. Hang on. How about that? I think that's pretty good, actually. Pretty good. To the untrained eye, that might work. Let's put some on the fender here. Sorry for the messing around. So I just want to spread this out. Actually, I'm going to have to mix up quite a bit more of this. Hopefully this dries flat. another hit. A little shot of yellow. I'll do a little mix in. And we get a creamy yellow. Pretty close to the other one I just did, so this is heirloom white, and then this is just a generic sun yellow that I picked up probably at Home Depot. But I think what I plan on doing is I'll coat this, try to get as even coat as I can, and then I'll top coat it with the paint that I had mixed up at the auto body supply. So I took a piece from the interior, because actually some of the pieces inside my car were painted to match the outside, and so I took them into the auto body supply, and the guy has a bunch of those little paint chip books and stuff, and he figured out what color, what family it was in, and then kind of drilled down into something that we thought was the closest that we could get. So and we'll see that in a little while here. See how close they got it. If it's close enough, I'll be happy. I think what I'll do is after I put that coat on, and I'm kind of spitballing here because I really have never done this before. I have never really tried any patina before, so I don't know how it's going to come out, but I'm figuring that you can use a very light sandpaper. I want to knock down I think it's I hope it's like a satin finish. I can't remember what I told the guy that I wanted. It just was more, I guess maybe in my haste, I was more worked up, hoping it was going to be close enough in color. I'm almost out of this yellow. Close enough in color than I was to the type of paint I was getting. But anyhow, figure I can put that top coat on and then use some light sandpaper, maybe some steel wool. I'll go really, really light on the grit because I don't want it to take too much of the paint off, but I want to cut the paint down. I don't want it to be so bright and shiny too. That's the other factor, is I don't want if it's really bright and shiny, it's not going to match the rest of the car, because I think this is an old enamel paint job, and the finish on it has worn through the years, and if it's too shiny, it's going to stick out, and I don't want to draw too much attention to those spots on the car. By the way, I used a high build type of a primer underneath this, and there's probably about 4 or 5 coats of that. I just used a high build that I found at the store. I didn't get it at the auto body shop. I just got a regular high build automotive type primer out of just straight out of the can. All right, what do we think? I think you got that there, and then we got to do this patch over here too. Now this patch really, most of this patch is going to be covered by on the 57, the bumper comes up and rides this little lip here, so you really won't be able to see all that under there. Although I know it's patched, and that makes me happy because there was a hole there. However, we want to make sure that we can. Some of this overspray I got here, I did put some butcher paper here and made a line, taped it right where the trim line is, so we can do a little bit of overspray with the color when we're blending it. I'm sure that there's probably better ways to do this, and I know somebody's gonna probably comment and tell me, and yeah, let me know how you do this. This is just my way. I've watched a few videos over the years on doing some patina, or some, faux-tina, if you want to call it. But I figure I get a little bit of this color here. I don't need it to go down here because, like I said, this part's gonna be covered by the bumper. But so if that's pure body color, that's all right with me. So we're gonna let this dry really, really well. Let it set up and level out. Hopefully it levels out. You can see so many brush marks in it right now. So if it dries and levels out, we'll come back and we might have to knock it with a little bit of sandpaper, knock it down. But even if we have to do that, we'll do that. But then we can try some spray, see how close my color matching is. Okay, we're back. This paint is ready to be top coated. It didn't dry too flat, but I think it'll be all right. We'll see how close this spray paint matches. It is a little bit off. It's not exactly the same color. But I think it's going to be workable. I really do. And maybe it's the primer that I'm seeing here come through on that little piece there. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit more blue than it is. I think it needs a little bit more, at least a little bit more of that green in it, I believe. Maybe it'll dry a little bit closer, but or after we rough it up a little bit, maybe it'll be better. Okay, I've got a couple coats of paint on here. Remember, we patched red in here, and we put a full patch down there. Now this color is more more blue than it is green, so it doesn't match exactly. I did some spray up into here. As you can see, there's some overspray on my tape, but hopefully that will blend well when we get to making doing the patina part. We're going to rough the new paint up a little bit. Hopefully just enough. As you can see, it's pretty shiny. But then again, there's some overspray on this part here. So we'll clean it all up, see what we got. And also an update on the rocker panel here. Remember that we did some dent pulling. We welded some patches, a big patch up front there in the corner, a rectangular patch, and then there were numerous little dime size, quarter size patches all the way down there, and we welded in some metal discs to close those holes up. And right now I got a coat of Bondo on there drying. I'm trying to fill in some of the low spots. We couldn't get all the lows pulled out with the dent, but we got it way better than it was before. So yeah, there'll be some more sand in there. Also, I had a few pinholes there, and since it's a really thin part of the door skin, I put some rust reformer on it, and then I got some fiberglass there. An overkill on the fiberglass, I know, but it should be plenty to then fix it. So, you know, from 20 foot away, 10 foot away, this fender looks great, but we will see once we rough it up. The real test is going to be when it goes onto the car. More to come.